12 now. We know what you're thinking of, tropical fish. And you tend to think of them in places such as Florida, but not anymore. Well, at least not just Florida. In the last 5 to 10 years, tropical fish have been turning up in Long Island Sound, perhaps more evidence of climate change. Back to tell us all about it, a couple of my favorite people, Scott Tucker from Expedition New England and your 6-year-old son, Ray. Wait a minute, Race, have you had a birthday since you were last in here? I could have sworn you were 5 when you were last here. When's your birthday?
April 28th.
Okay, so maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, you look 6. You look older. Anyway, it's good to have you guys here.
Could be the glasses.
Could be the glasses. You look very distinguished, my friend.
Thanks.
Thanks for coming in, you guys. So we're talking tropical fish this morning, and you have a fish tank here. First of all, let's talk about this guy who's in here.
This is a spotfin
Butterfly fish.
Spotfin butterfly fish. That's easy to roll off the tongue.
Yeah, right?
And where would these typically be found, or historically or customarily, shall we say?
The Caribbean.
Really?
And a few years ago, scuba diving off the coast of Rhode Island, I caught wind of the big story. These are actually coming in from the Gulf Stream, which comes up out northeast of our coastline, and the warm eddies from the Gulf Stream spit off into Rhode Island, Long Island Sound, and the larvae, the young spotfin butterflies, come into the coast, and they eventually will die because they can't handle the winter temperatures.
See, that's too bad, because it sounds like a great thing for us, but maybe not a great thing, especially for the fish. By the way, there's the spotfin butterfly fish. A moment ago, we were talking about something else, showing you something else, which we'll get to in a second. So it is exciting for you to be able to see these little guys off the waters here, but maybe not a good thing overall, right?
Well, there's something that's definitely in the wind.
Yeah.
Climate change is happening. These two creatures on your desk are examples of it. The spotfin butterfly.
And this guy. Now let's move the camera back over to this particular he's kind of hiding.
He's a little shy.
He's looking a little bit lethargic, maybe.
Come on,
but
buddy.
Something I've never seen, maybe ever in the water, even in my travels. This is a seahorse. Are they in Long Island Sound?
They are.
Yeah.
You're kidding.
And
Race, what's the deal with that?
Guess who caught them?
You found them?
This guy and we caught him in Long Island Sound at Hammonasset Beach.
You're kidding. So you just saw him, you were just swimming? You couldn't have been in very deep water, were you?
No, we weren't swimming. We used this.
You use this, which is, I understand this is called a Seine net, like the spelling of the Seine River over in France. So the Seine, what do they call it, a Seine or Seine net?
Seine net is how I've been taught to pronounce it.
Okay.
This little thing, you put one on your foot, the other one, which you'll see in the video, and another one in your hand. 2 people drag along the coastline. You will find creatures like seahorses, northern pipefish. Long Island Sound is loaded with rare fish that are coming up because it's warmer than it's usually been.
Yeah.
Plus, it's an estuary, it's a hatchery.
I can't believe it. You know, and we'll come back to that in a second. Let's, we have some video to show, I believe, right? 2 clips to show.
We caught a seahorse and a new fish, but we don't know what it is. What?
New England, Scott Tucker here. You are not going to believe this. Race, August, Tucker, and I have just taken our seine net here in Hammonasset, Connecticut, Hammonasset State Park Beach.
Yep.
And we dragged up 2 new creatures we've never seen in all the time we've been dragging. Check this out. It's a seahorse.
And that's him
We
right
got our
there.
first seahorse.
Long Island Sound is a critical estuary and a nursery for millions of fish.
A new fish? Seahorse!
Boy, you know, you need to bring up the enthusiasm level, I guess, there, huh, Race? So this is the same guy that we just saw you catching.
And thanks to the Meigs Point Nature Center, Ranger Russ, they kept it alive in their tanks.
Wow.
From August until now,
Yeah,
so we could bring it on.
They're not going to survive in a regular fishbowl. And I noticed, too, by the way, that on the spotfin, that you have the heat lamp, too. Is that infrared or something?
The lamp is actually more for light, but you're right on.
Yeah.
This guy needs about 75 degrees on average, which he's not quite getting in this room, but we're going to get the temperature back up. The folks at Exotic Fish and Coral in Milford helped us out with this because these are very delicate fish to keep alive.
I was going to say, and that other fish that we were seeing in the video, I do understand that is a juvenile kingfish.
That is what we were. That is what we learned after we went and did the research. So these fish are never. No one's ever seen them in Long Island Sound until the last few years. So things are coming in more now than ever before.
All right, and we heard that phrase, climate change. So it is climate change, you say, not a fluke?
We really believe it. Everyone in the sciences is looking at the temperature. Just a 1 or 2 degree fluctuation to bring the temperature up in the sound is all it takes for these fish to cross that threshold from Carolinas up into the summer Long Island Sound.
Also, by the way, seeing a flounder isn't quite so rare up in these parts, but up close maybe a little bit. Let's have a look at another video here.
Diving at night is all about confronting the fear. The fear of the dark. Fear of the unknown. And as soon as we see this summer flounder, all those fears just disappear. And you're focused on this most amazing creature, unlike almost any fish that we have here in New England. But I've got to shut the lights off just to clear away these silver sides so I can film them. It's completely flat. The face is totally distorted. And its ability to camouflage and submerge itself in the sand is unlike anything else we have.
All right, now you weren't diving alone there. I would never want to dive in the dark. I think that's the spooky factor. Who were you with?
My trusted friend and dive partner, Christopher Pimley, was there with me. He's been guiding me for years,
Okay.
and he brought me to that place in Rhode Island. We're only in about 15 feet of water, but it's dark, and you can't help but to think about sharks.
Yeah, well, no kidding. Anything you can't see, you imagine, and all that good stuff. So, all right, well, really an interesting and fascinating thing, but the climate change thing, and real quickly, because we've got to go, is the climate change, are we talking about because of pollution, or are we talking about just climate change that Mother Nature brings in?
It's really, we're looking at the carbon footprint as being a huge part of it. I know it's cliche, but there is just too much going on in the atmosphere that we're creating with our fossil fuels.
Yeah, and it's not, it could be so dangerous to these beautiful creatures. Still, they are beautiful. It's wonderful to see them, wonderful to see you guys. Race, thanks for coming in, buddy. We'll see you before you turn 7, right? All right, if you want more information, maybe, he says, right? We'll have to talk with his agent. Scott and Race Tucker from Expedition New England. Always appreciate you coming in. Thank you. And such interesting friends you bring along. For more information, you can go to our website, WTNH.com. Click on the Good Morning Connecticut weekend section.